Hi everybody, it's Professor Hacker here, and this video announcement is part of week 2 for UNIV 100, and we're just going to take a minute here to talk a little bit about the video that you're watching this week by Angela Duckworth called Grit. Now this may or may not be something that you have heard of in terms of this author and her book, but chances are that you are familiar with the concept of grit, the idea of being persistent through your struggles. It's definitely something that we saw this week in the scriptural examples that were given with us for the class. And even though the examples that we were given with both Daniel and with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, those are pretty common stories that we are likely familiar with as Christians. But we know that the scriptures are filled with stories of everyone from kings to the commoner who have gone up against evil or wrongdoing or standing up for what's right and struggling to get through the challenges that come with that. And you all and I are really no different than these men that we read about this week. We also are going to have challenges and difficulties. In fact, if you were in class last session, session D, you started class right at the time when this pandemic was just going crazy across the country. And states were in the process of shutting down, and schools were closing and shifting to online instruction. And while that in itself might not have been a big change for you in terms of being a college student, because you were already planning to be an online student, I'm sure there are other things that have been affected for you, whether it is now having children at home, whether it's changes in your job, your personal situations, maybe helping to take care of other family members. We all are going through some difficult challenges right now, and having that sense of grit and developing that ability to persist through those difficulties is one of the things that's going to be a key difference for students who are successful and students who are not successful. So I would strongly encourage you, after you've watched this video on grit, to even think about purchasing the book and reading some more examples or excerpts from it. I think you're going to find that it's very encouraging, and it's also something that we need to be reminded of. We're not always going to be in the middle of a pandemic, but we are always going to have certain struggles and challenges that come against us as students. And okay, that's my pig there in the bottom of the screen chewing on my leg because she thinks she's going to get a snack. Talk about a challenge. Let's see if we can shift this a little bit so y'all can see Hammy down there. Hey, Hammy. Say hi to everybody. Huh? Hammy actually has her own story of challenge. That yellow dog you see behind her attacked her when she was a baby and shattered her shoulder blade. But Hammy persisted. She had grit, and you can see that she's still here and doing well. So back to grit for you as a student. What is that going to mean for you week to week as you are trying to be on top of deadlines and getting all of your work in and doing your absolute best even while faced with these challenges? Yeah, that's Hammy squeaking. One thing that I see very common in this class is that students tend to lose steam. You start out really strong in the first few weeks, and then once the big assignments start coming and class begins to get a little more complicated or difficult, then some people fall behind. So one thing to keep in mind this week as you're reading about grit, and also as you're reading about how to be a successful student, the blueprint for success reading, set some goals for yourself and make a commitment that you are not going to be one who falls by the wayside. That no matter how difficult it gets, you are going to reach out and ask for help. You will communicate with me. That's the most important thing you can do if you start to struggle, is to communicate with me. And that you will remind yourself that you are here for a purpose and you can get through this class successfully. Sorry, Hammy's jumping on my leg. I'm really debating whether or not to even keep this video, but I think it's going to prove to be a little interesting because I'm going to persist in finishing this video despite the external challenge of a 150-pound potbelly pig trying to climb up my leg. All right, so let's finish off with a commitment regarding grit. Let's look at this week, take some time to really process what you're learning in this video about how persistence leads to success, and try to see that as a strength for you, no matter what other challenges you have, no matter how weak you may think you are academically. Maybe you're coming into this class thinking that you don't know enough about computers in order to do an online class as well, or you don't think you're a strong writer. We're going to set those things aside, those doubts, those external factors that weigh down on us, and we're instead going to focus on the positive and knowing that each one of us has a level of grit that we just need to kind of reach down inside for, and that's going to carry us through. So let's commit this week that we are going to finish to the end. Let's commit that if we have challenges that we're going to communicate and we're not going to fall by the wayside. And let's also commit that we have confidence in our own abilities, no matter what these challenges are, that we are exactly where God wants us to be right now. And that is the greatest motivating factor and greatest key to success that you can have, is knowing with conviction that you're exactly where you're supposed to be in the time that you're supposed to be here.